that down, let's talk about this, shall we? Remember how Paramount was getting ready to sell to Sony? Well, that didn't work. Well, then it looked like Paramount was about to sell to Skydance. Everything's done. The leadership at Paramount said, yep, we're ready to go. There was just one little technicality. Sherry Redstone, who owns 77% of the ownership there, killed the deal. She got a hold of the other leadership at Paramount and said, I'm axing the deal. We're not doing the deal. I own 77%. Doesn't matter what you vote. I'm saying no. Killed the deal. And immediately, the stock price, I don't know if you saw this, Jonathan, but the stock price of Paramount upon news that the sale was killed took a Wile E. Coyote off the cliff.
Yeah, I think it even held up a sign.
Yeah, saying,
and then it just dropped.
and it dropped like crazy. But was it calculated madness? Was it calculated madness? Because over at the Lightshed Partners, Richard Greenfield in his newsletter actually put out an article that kind of lays out that how, number one, there might be method to the madness here and what happens with Paramount now moving forward. Now, he laid out three different things. The first thing he laid out was that we're about to see a new CEO because right now, remember, Paramount put into place the idea of like they got like three guys operating as co-CEOs. Mm-hmm. He says the first thing they're going to put one CEO in place. But then he suggests these things that he believes is going to come to Paramount. A Paramount course correction. As they wrote back in March, Paramount needs to take immediate action to stem the bleeding at Paramount Plus. That's an understatement. It's been a massive money loser for them for a while with no signs of getting profitable. The current strategy has no hope of creating viable, profitable, long-term business. There is minimal at best engagement with Paramount Plus relative to the dollars invested, and putting content on Paramount Plus is hurting the value of Paramount's IP. So basically, like they got Star Trek and all that kind of stuff, right? But the very fact that they're putting Star Trek on Paramount Plus is hurting Star Trek.
Right.
Because it's a ghost town, right? Former CEO Bob Back's strategy was flawed from day one and deserved to be fired for it. We expect aggressive battle between Amazon Prime Video, Warner Brothers Discovery Max, and NBC Peacock to license Paramount's content or create some form of joint venture with Paramount Plus, no matter what happens. Paramount Plus's future will look very different within weeks, with Paramount focusing on maximizing and reaching engagement through third parties. Okay. This is actually kind of brilliant. Paramount has tried to be what almost everybody else other than Sony has been. We're going to be a studio that puts out movies in theaters and stuff on television, and we're going to have our own streaming network. Hence, they created Paramount Plus. For the record, I like Paramount Plus. I don't open it up very often.
Nope.
Probably the least out of all my streaming things. I definitely open Hulu more. I definitely open Disney Plus more. Definitely Max. Definitely Peacock. Definitely Netflix. Definitely Prime. All more. So it might be the least one I open up the least. So they've been trying to do that and putting their stuff on Paramount Plus, and it has not worked out, and they have been bleeding money. Bleeding money. So this option of shut down Paramount Plus and instead let's license out our content, essentially doing what Sony is doing. Instead of getting involved in the war, let's be arms dealers. Let's create the content that other people bid for. So this gives them two options as we go over to the Campea classroom here. Option A, if they do this, is they form one all-inclusive license deal with one partner. For example, if they make a deal with Max, then everything that Paramount produces will then end up on Max. After it's done its regular television or regular theatrical runs, it all ends up on Max. They could sign a very lucrative deal with Warner Brothers Discovery and Max to become the exclusive licensee of the content that Paramount creates. That could make them a lot of money. But it also has a second option, option B. Make each streaming service bid for each individual IP. So for example, they got Star Trek. Okay, make Max, Peacock, and Prime all bid for Star Trek. And whichever one wins, they get Star Trek. But say their new Yellowstone show. Yellowstone, 1426, or whatever ones they want to have. Right?
Right.
Now that, it doesn't have to go to the same one that Star Trek goes to. Make all the streamers bid on that. say Netflix, Disney Plus, and Prime. Bid on that one. So they have two very viable options available to them here. That coupled with sell off a lot of the assets they don't use, right? Like BET is a valuable asset, but it's not really in their brand. So a number of other things they got, some non-CBS affiliate networks that they have across the country, sell those off, put all that money they make on selling off that stuff against the debt, start licensing out content, and get back to doing what they do best, which is make great movies.
Yeah.
Ideally.
I think there'll be a bit of a hybrid of the two. I think what you'll see is a bidding for the IP, but I think the stuff that is like purely Paramount Plus original content will probably be partnered with as a group with one of those, Netflix or Max or whatever.
Right. So they have several options open to them right now. So while it seems disastrous on the surface, because that's the first thing I thought. I thought this is a disaster when Sherry Roadstone killed the deal. But, you know, upon further reflection and some really good arguments being made about how this could work out in their favor and how it could turn things around. I was talking to a friend of mine this morning and says, you know, this could be the way they turn a $5 billion company back into a $15 billion company. They're never going to be a $50 billion company again, but this could be the way to do that, and it's interesting. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Miracle Made. Did you know that your temperature at night can have one of the greatest impacts on your sleep quality? If you wake up too hot or too cold, I highly recommend you check out Miracle Made's bed sheets. Inspired by NASA, Miracle Made uses silver-infused fabrics and makes temperature-regulating bedding so that you can sleep at the perfect temperature all night long. When they arrived at our house, my wife Ann loved the feel of them so much, she couldn't even wait for me to get home to put them on our bed. Miracle Made has self-cleaning. These sheets are infused with silver that prevents up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, leaving them to stay cleaner and fresh 3 times longer than other sheets. Miracle Sheets also have incredible comfort and quality. Miracle Sheets are luxuriously comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands and feel as nice, if not nicer, than sheets used by some 5-star hotels. So go to TryMiracle, that's TryMiracle.com/Campea to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our promo code Campea at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you will get a full refund. So upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to TryMiracle.com/Campea and use the code Campea to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's TryMiracle.com/Campea to treat yourself. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? The idea that Paramount gets out of the streaming game, shuts down Paramount Plus, and just does what Sony does, create content that other people then pay for and license. Can it work? Can it not work? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thought. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.